Hello all, myself Professor Bhagyashree Lachwani from Ahmedabad Institute of Technology. In this lecture, we will cover a topic that is SaaS, Software as a Service in Software Engineering subject. The main topic for that is what is product lifetime. Product lifetime can be of two types, that is the independent product and the continuous improvement. When we will do a product lifetime, that means we have to include everything about the product. That means when our product will enter in the market till the product is deliverable to the customers. That means when the product is entering in the market, what is the cost of the product, how it will be given to the customers, how the cost will be given to the customers, what the measures of the sales we have to include. That means everything about the product. So this will indicate it as a software lifetime. That means in between what the time required, that is the time period, what is the life cycle, that is depends on the product to product, because from one product to another product the lifetime of the product will be differ. It may happen that the one product have the lifetime is of within the months, or the other product can have a lifetime for within the years. That means the product lifetime can include the number of phases. So product life cycle can have a number of phases. The product sale also depends on the number of different challenges. The challenges can be the number of multiple opportunities, the problems that the seller can face during the selling of the product. That means the different marketing strategies, different financial strategies, how the manufacturing of the product will be there, how the purchasing of the product will be there, what the human resources, what the human efforts that are applied behind the selling of the product. So basically for the product life cycle there are two approaches. The very first approach is independent product and the second is continuous lifetime product, continuous improvement of the product. Before we will going on to any of the topic, let us first understand what is quality management, because quality management is very important consideration. Ultimately quality management is considered as QM, that is the quality for Q, M is for management, quality management. The quality management, that means ultimately we have to maximize the competitiveness of the market. That means we have to go through the different continuous improvements, the different services in our product, the different people that are included within our processes, the different products that we have to do work with, the environments that is included with our product, the number of processes and the number of product. That means every time we have to try to maximize the benefits, but at the same time we have to reduce the number of ultimately infrastructures that means the environments that are the remedies in our quality. That means always try to improve the quality with the minimum efforts. So quality management is very much important whether we are applying the independent product improvement or we are applying the continuous improvement. So in the continuous improvement of the product, what we have to do, we have to initially decide the number of phases. That means we can say we have to take the review for the product from our customers at some interval time. That means just take an example, if any new product is introduced in the market, so we have to just take the review from the customers. Just as an example, one new sauce product is coming in the market and company has just launched the product. So first of all the company have to give concentration whether it is according to the customers need or not, whether the customers are interested in our product or not, whether the price of our product is satisfiable to the customers or not. So the review from the product customers must be compulsory there for the particular time interval. So in the continuous improvement of the product, the very first and important consideration is we have to review the product from the customers and the number of processes that we are going through. That means once suppose we are making a product by taking any of the process, but there are number of much efforts needed, so we have to always try to continuous improvement. That means how the process can be improved much and much, we have to give that consideration. Again next point we can consider it as a practices periodically. That means we have to do the practice of the number of processes that we are applying as in periodically. Again the feedback from the stakeholders, here stakeholders in simple words we can consider it as in the users of our system. That means we have to take the feedback whether it is according to the needs of not. So if it is not satisfiable by our customer, so we have to do some improvements in our product. So now we will come on to the main topic, that is SaaS, software as a service. In the simple words, the software as a service, it is a way of delivering the applications over the internet as a service. That means suppose you are any person and you want to use any application, so you don't need to install it to manage the software. Suppose you are working with any organization, so in the organization, suppose one organization is needing some software, so that organization, if they are using the SaaS, that means software as a service, so the company does not require to purchase a license for that software, to purchase a software, to maintain a software, the special hardware that require that software. What they will do, the organization will contact to the SaaS providers. If they are providing that software, they can directly contact them and they can use that software through the internet. That means instead of installing, maintaining the software, you have to simply just access it via the internet. Now the SaaS have a different names given. Just take an example. The very first name is web based software. Why the name is given as web based software? The name is indicating a meaning, web based. That means you don't have to install your software, you don't have to purchase your software, you don't have to maintain your software. What you are doing, you are ultimately doing, you are using the software through the internet. That means web based, it is on the web and you are using that software, so the name is given as web based software. The second name of the SaaS is given as on demand software. See, it may happen that the organization doesn't require the software for always. That means according to the demand of the organization, if at some time some software is needed, that is depending on the demand of the software. Suppose for one project we need this software and we don't require the software for lifetime. That means it is according to the demand of the organization, so the name is given as on demand software. That means according to the demand of the organization, the software is needed by the organization, so the another name of the SaaS is on demand software. The third name is given as hosted software, because it is not owned by an organization, it is hosted by someone else. We are only using the services. That means the name is given as hosted software. So it may happen that SaaS will be asked like a question like web based software, on demand software, or hosted software. Now what is the SaaS provider will do? The provider will have to manage the accessing to applications, to keep the security of the application, the availability of this application, or the performance of the application. If we are using the SaaS services, we have to only use, we don't have to think about how we will manage, how the security will be given, if there is any updates are coming, so we don't have to update, the provider will automatically update and we can directly use it. That means everything is managed by the provider of SaaS. Now we will move on to the topic, that is the SaaS characteristics. Just take an example of bank, it is a very clear, so you will be very clear about the what is SaaS. If the bank is there, the number of customers are we can say the opening an account in the bank, and the same functionalities that is given to the customers, the number of customers are using the same number of applications. That means what the bank will do, the bank will protect the privacy of the customers. That means we don't have to keep in mind that how the privacy, how the data will be hidden, our data will be hidden from other customers. If we are using the ATM pin, just take an example, we are not worrying about that. Why? Because we are aware that only bank and we are aware, no one else can use, because if we are not sharing till, okay, that means the bank has to keep track the privacy of the customers, the reliability of the customers, the security of the customers. This is, the customers can use the same financial system without any worrying, because suppose just take an example, debit card functionality, credit card functionality, or even the personal information of the customers, everything is stored in the bank, but we are not worrying about. Why? Because we are aware that we are a customer, we are aware that bank will not share our data with anyone. Even number of times we are getting a message, don't share your personal information or debit card or credit card pin with anyone. Why? Because it is the only SaaS provider is our bank and we are only using it. That means no need to share it with the third party. Okay, so without any information sharing, with accessing any personal information, we are just reliable on the bank. So this is the one best example of the SaaS characteristics. Now another characteristics, just take an example, SAS will provide you the multi-tenant architecture. What is multi-tenant architecture? It is actually the best characteristics of the SAS. That means all the users and applications share the single common infrastructure and code-based application. That means one application can be implemented and all the users and applications, that means whatever the users of the same application are there, that use the same single and the common infrastructure. If there is any update in the system, everyone can see it. That means it is a multi-tenant architecture. Another is easily customization. That means each user without affecting the common infrastructure. If suppose user wants some modifications, that means some upgradations will be there, upgrade of the software will be there, so it will be done by the only provider side and no need to do it by the individual single user wise. Everyone can see it very easily. The next characteristics is better access. That means everyone sees the same information at the same time. Everyone can see, everyone can fetch, everyone can use the information that is available to all. So through this discussion we can say there are the number of advantages of the SAS. The very first and very important advantage is before the organization, it removes the installation and running of the application on its on memory. That means no need for an organization to install and run the application on their own systems. Okay, so it also eliminates the hardware cost, because it may happen that for some applications we need some extra hardware to purchase. That means the hardware extra purchasing cost can also be reduced by this. So it will cost provisioning application, the maintenance organization does not have to do because it will be handled by the SAS provider. No need to purchase a license for the software because we are only using as a service provider, we are not purchasing our own. That means the license version does not required by us. No need for burden out the installation of the software, no need for the maintaining of the software, no need to worry about the support of the software, because everything we are using all will be handled by the service provider, that means the SAS provider. So in short we can summarize the flexible payment. That means generally if we are purchasing an software or we are using, we have to generally do the payment with the SAS by the monthly, but it is also depend on the pay as a go. That means how much you need, that you can pay. There's another very important example advantage is scalable use. That means it may happen that you may want the software that you are using through an SAS through the internet of the much, that means you want the more demand, or it may happen that the demand is at the time very less. That means according to the customer's option they can get the more or fewer demand. That means the how much they need accessing of the software, that can use accordingly. Another is automatic updates. That means no need to update or purchase a new license by the organization. The SAS provider will do on self. With the number of advantages, some of the disadvantages also there for the SAS. That means business must rely on an outside vendors to provide the software, because if it is our personal business, that means we are providing through everything through a very confidential way. But if we are using the SAS, that means the business must rely on an outside vendors. Why? Because we are not purchasing a software, we are basically depending on the software, we are taking in software as a service. That means whoever is providing the software, we have to rely on them. Another disadvantage is that it may happen that at the initial level we have not worried, or we have not given the concentration about the agreement. What are the features, what are the actually demands, what are the actually services provided by the software. So at some stage of the business we may need that these requirements are not according to our requirement, or these are not satisfied by our customers. That means previously the user should understand the SAS provider service and agreement. So it may happen that it can be a disadvantage if we are not considering as a very serious manner in the starting. Okay, so here are some of the advantages and disadvantages of the SAS. Now we will just go through the SAS architecture without worrying about the development, testing, operating, maintenance and installation, upgrading. What we have to do is we have to just go through the simple steps. That means whatever is the service provider, developer, tester and operator, these three phases will be given by the SAS based delivery. That means we are only taking as an agreement, and after that we will use an internet and multi-tenant architecture. That means the multiple users can use the same, customized, easily accessible, no need to worry about the surroundings, and we can use the easily. So SAS can be considered as one of the best best services that we can use through the internet. Hope you are clear with this example. Thank you for watching the video.